Okay, then here's the deal. This is my old 20-something-year-old Lawnboy Silver Series 2-stroke lawnmower, and this lawnmower has definitely seen better days. It's progressively broken itself more and more as time has went on, but it still runs good and it still cuts grass good, and I don't want to give it up. But my current problem is I have a bad gas leak, and where that's coming from is over here. This is the gas tank that normally sits up here somewhat like this, and this is a shroud, and it's got the tank kind of made into it. This is the tank part of it, looking at the bottom. This is the outlet, and so on and so forth. Now I've tried to patch this a couple, 3 or 4 different times, and so far now it's gotten that it will not seal anymore no matter what. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to the cops over here. I'm going to make an external gas tank. See there? There they go. On the hunt. It's a crackdown. But anyway, back to my story. I'm going to make an external gas tank because I'm too cheap to buy another one of those, which is probably $100. And so I got to come up with something else. So all we're dealing with here is we got a gas line feed here, and then we got a primer bulb which goes on this thing over here. So I have to keep that. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a gas tank that I can mount up here someplace and just run a gas line down to there. So here's what I've come up with on that. I was thinking about what I had laying around in my parts stash, and I remembered that I had this Chrysler, this is a washer bottle off of an A-body, like a Duster or a Dart or something like that. And anyway, I've had this thing laying around. I got it out of the junkyard, and I think it's solid, does not leak, but it's an electric pump. So I got looking at this thing, and as it turns out, this may work for me if I can adapt it. Normally it had this, this thing would be in the bottom right here. This is the electric pump, which is for sure no good anymore. And it had this thing in the inside of it, which screws to that, like that. This is a neat little strainer of a thing. So some way I'm going to try to adapt that to work as my external gas tank, my remote mounted gas tank. So I haven't thought this all out yet, and this is probably incredibly dangerous and maybe stupid, but I don't care right now. I'm desperate. I gotta have a gas tank. So it's either that or a milk jug. So I'm going to work on this and see what I can design. And if I come up with something, I'll post it up. See ya. Okay, here's the finished product on this fuel tank replacement that I did on this Lawnboy. And this thing looks hilarious, but it actually works fine. Is it dangerous? Yeah. Do I recommend it? No. But you know, it's that or scrap this mower. And I know there are plenty of people who would turn to their wife and say, "Oh honey, we have a gas leak, we need to get a new mower." But I'm not one of those people, because I plan to run this till it will not run anymore. You can see that it's already seen a whole lot of use, but it still works good, runs good, and I'm not ready to give up on it. So anyway, like I said, I showed you what I used. I used my Chrysler washer bottle that I had already. All the stuff that I had already. I didn't have to buy anything to do this, and then I just ran it down to the fuel line, ran down here, used some wire ties and put that on there, and patched it in there, and used another piece right there, etc., etc., etc. So it all works real good. It does slop a little gas out of the lid right there. That's not necessarily designed for a lot of joggling around like it gets with this mower, but I don't care. You notice I had to take the shroud off, and we didn't need that anyway. So what I did with this primer, I just zip tied it to the side there, that cable, which I don't use that cable, it's the throttle control, and I just use it on wide open all the time anyway, so seems to be doing pretty good, so runs good. Let me crank it up for you. Okay, man, there you go. That's how you fix your tank problem on one of these for no money. The only requirement is you collect up a bunch of junk like I do, so you have something to make it out of. See ya.